Hey y'all, so I wanted to come to y'all about a new show that I just started watching. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. Reasonable Doubt. I don't know if you all watch the show. It is a law-based show and it follows this lawyer. Her name is Jacqueline, but she goes by Jax. And she's married and she's a criminal defense attorney, and you can already tell like it's gonna be with the shits. And I'm already liking it. I'm on episode 2, season 1. I think it's currently being renewed for their 4th season, but episode 1 is starting off good and it started off strong. Um Jax and her husband, I can't remember his name right now, but they're going through some marital issues and they have 2 kids, a daughter, Naima, and a son, Spencer. Spencer's at that age where he seems to be like in his tweens, maybe like 12, 13, and he's at the age where he wants to be with his dad because they're now separated. And they do this thing like they're playing charades, but like they do enough to put up I guess put up appearances. Like they go to church together, but they're separated. And so it's almost setting it up like she's just so career driven and she's just like a bitch in the courtroom. Well, not I don't want to say a bitch, but she like gets the job done and she's willing to sacrifice everything for her career. This real career woman. But it's going to be a lot of nuances because one thing that really intrigued me was, okay, so they have the daddy, I guess he does gaming or whatever, or he develops games. So he has all these videos, like video cameras around the house, recording everything. And she's like, you want to know my every move. And it's this new security guard that he hires. Apparently, it seems to be without her permission or without her input. This guy named Will. And the kids are like, Daddy, why don't you just move back in and you won't have to hire somebody to, protect mommy because she gets off from work late and she has a dangerous job. Lo and behold, later on, I mean, we feel like the sexual tension between her and Will because her and her husband they separated. She going through the motions. She's smoking. It look like she want nobody know her. Want nobody know she's smoking, and she out with her friends, and they're going and they're doing their feet. They having their girls' time, and exchanging stories on where they're at, what they're doing. One of them friends seemed a little snaky to me. Chanel already seemed like she can't be trusted. She seems like she's one of those friends who's gonna try to act like she's like I'm here for you, girl. I feel like she gonna do something and be like, you know what, you should have never trusted that bitch back in 10th grade. I just feel that way. And then the other friend who told her she had to get some donkey dick. I don't know, that kind of like she seemed like the homegirl that you can trust. But I wonder if she gonna end up being the homegirl that's like, yeah, girl, do it, do it. And then when you and your man fall out for real, she gonna be like, well, you was doing this to him and you did that. And she could kind of like run back and tell him like she was doing this, she was doing that. Her and Will, like throughout the episode, she's coming home late and you can feel that there's some sexual tension. She ends up fucking Will. But here's the thing. When she's having sex with Will, she's riding him reverse cowgirl, looking directly in one of the cameras. And so we end up seeing that wherever her husband is at his house, where he has the kids for his time being, he sees it. Like he sees them having sex. And his response to it, he does not get mad. He's like enjoying watching it. So I'm like, oh, they're one of those couples. Like they got that, voyeuristic ism to them. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Like y'all be freaking and geeking, sneaking it, whatever you want to call it. But we got to keep the marriage spicy, whatever. But and then we see that okay, Sean Patrick Thomas made a cameo. Well, not a cameo. He plays this soon to be billionaire. I love Sean Patrick Thomas. I've loved him ever since when I had a crush on him when I saw him in damn. Oh, I know the movie. Julia Stiles, Save the Last Dance, when he was Derek. That man has aged well. I love to see actors that you saw as a kid and you see them still working, like, yeah, you still getting booked. But we could tell he's like a little pompous asshole because he's going through this case with one of his VPs, a woman named Kalisha, and he kind of like makes it seem as if, they had a little bit of a sexual relationship, but we're finding out even with little isms that because she ends up dead. She was supposed to sign an NDA because she said that he sexually assaulted her, and he was like, he's going over it with one of the other partners, this white man, forgot his name, but they meet with his character, and you can tell like he doesn't want her there. Sean Patrick Thomas's character doesn't want Jax there, and like she's kind of like taken aback by it, and she kind of feels as if he's being a pompous asshole, kind of like, oh, you just want the men around, and the black woman in here is not good enough for you, Mr. Black Man. But now that the woman ends up dead after she was supposed to sign the NDA, now he wants her help. Because before he was like, this is just a civil case or whatever it may be. Why are you here? You're a criminal attorney. Like, really trying to just hold his nuts on him. But she ends up dead, and as we're watching episode 2, we can see that there was more to their relationship than just a wham bam thank you ma'am. I think there was some much more deeper emotions involved. And she's also married too, which we find out that she's separated from her husband. But we also see that there's going to be some backstory with Jax when she was a public defender, when she represented, why I can't remember everybody's name right now. Michael Ealy character. Michael Ealy, I'm sorry. He is the crazy light skinned nigga that he plays. I really feel like he is really that in real life in some way. But he is pretty much I'm assuming maybe one of her first or earlier clients. She worked really hard to get him off. It didn't work. And he wants to get out of prison, so he's willing to, take the fall for the murder that, he didn't commit, but he wants to get out of prison. So he's like, okay, I'm going to take the fall for it so that I can get paroled. And she's like, don't ever speak to me again, or I won't ever speak to you, because I'm not going to go along with you admitting to something that you did not do. But we also, she meets with him in prison before he gets out, when they talk about it. And he's like, remember when you said you love criminals? And he also ends up reading a letter that she wrote him, and she writes at the end, I love criminals. And so it's like, girl, it's apparent that this was before her husband. Because, like, okay, so if you love criminals, were you ever involved with him? And then how is this going to play out? Because I'm going to come back with episode 2, but we see that he's already out and about. He's gotten out. He's been paroled. And she's going to start seeing him. And it's not romantic right now, but it's kind of like a platonic, friendly type of thing. But you already feel that it has that undercurrent of something else romantic. I like the show already so far. Especially it being a lawyer show and having suspense and having that grit to it. What I hoped All's Fair would do, but you know what? This ain't All's Fair review. Um, but I really like episode 1. I'll be back with episode 2. If you all watch the show, let me know. Get in the comments. Talk about it with me. Interact. But I'll be back, and thanks.